We continue reading Caitanya Caritamrita here on chapter 2, text 96. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we were reading yesterday from the purport of chapter 2, text 96, that how Krishna, he is the summum bonum, he is the shelter of everything. He's the supreme whole, the supreme whole. All the light which is coming from him, that is his feature. Then the Paramatma is his feature. We, the Jivas, are his feature. We are his energy. We are his energy, you know. So then reading on, the primary potencies of the absolute truth are mentioned to be three: internal, external, and marginal. So the absolute truth has many countless unlimited energy. But for our easy understanding, it is grouped into three: internal, external, and marginal. What is the internal energy? Is his spirit, his own spiritual energy. What's the external energy? Is the material energy. And what's the marginal energy? Is we, the jivas. We are the marginal energy. We always need shelter. And it's our choice that we are taking shelter under the external energy, which is Maya Devi, or we are taking shelter of the internal energy, the spiritual energy. That choice is ours. That's the only choice we have. Where do we want to be? Do we want to be connected to Krishna, or we want to forget Krishna? By the acts of his internal potency, the personality of Godhead in his original form exhibits the spiritual cosmic manifestations known as the Vaikuntha Lokas, which exist eternally even after the destruction of the material cosmic manifestation. So the spiritual world is maintained by Krishna through his internal energy, his spiritual energy. That's what's maintaining the spiritual world. The spiritual world is ever existent. It never, ever annihilates. There's no birth, death, disease over there. It's full of Sat, Chid, Ananda, eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. By the marginal potency, the Lord expands himself as living beings who are part of him, just as the sun distributes its rays in all directions. So we are part of Krishna. We are not separate from Krishna. We are always thinking, I'm independent, I have nothing to do with Krishna. No, the fact is that we are parts of Krishna. Just as sunshine is the energy of the sun, we are the energy of Krishna, his marginal energy. We can refuse to believe in it, but we cannot change the fact. By his external potency, the Lord manifests the material creation, just as the sun with its rays creates fog. The material creation is but a perverse reflection of the eternal Vaikuntha nature. So what is this external energy, earth, water, air, fire? That is Krishna's separated energy, his external energy, his material energy. So the example is given that the sun is full, it's brightening everywhere. When there is sun, there is no darkness. But the same sun, when it condenses with the rays, the sunshine, the water gets too condensed. It absorbs the water, gets too condensed, then there's a fog. So similarly, the material nature, what is it? The Brahman is everywhere. The Brahma Jyoti is everywhere. The light coming from the Supreme Lord is everywhere. In this light, in one portion in one tiny portion of this light, Krishna puts this dark Mahatattva, this material energy, and it's dark. So everywhere is light, everywhere. But in this small portion of this light, he puts this material energy. And so that portion becomes the dark portion. And that's the material world. You know, so that's how to simply put what we are reading. So these three energies of the absolute truth. If there are any questions, you all can please write on the chat, and then I can, or if any comments or anything. So these three energies of the absolute truth are also described in the Vishnu Puran, where it is said that the living being is equal in quality to the internal potency, whereas the external potency is indirectly controlled by the chief cause of all causes. So sometimes we are also called internal energy of the Lord. We, the jivas, sometimes we are called internal energy. Why? Because the quality is the same. Satchid Ananda. We are also Satchid Ananda. We are conscious. Whereas the material energy is not conscious. There's no consciousness in earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. All these are material elements. It does not have any consciousness. Okay. Maya, the illusory energy, misleads a living being as fog misleads a pedestrian by blocking off the light of the sun. So right now we are not able to understand the truth, our true position. What is our true position? That I'm eternally part and parcel of Krishna. I'm an eternal servant of Krishna. We are not able to understand that. We are in ignorance. The ignorance is due to this illusion of Maya. What's the illusion of Maya? We are thinking we are the body. We are thinking we are separate from Krishna. That is the illusion. So although the potency of Maya is inferior in quality to the marginal potency, which consists of the living beings who are part and parcel of the Lord, it nevertheless has the power to control the living beings, just as a fog can block the actions of a certain portion of the sun's rays, although it cannot cover the sun. So that if there is a cloud in the sky, it can cover only a tiny portion of the rays which are coming from the sun. It cannot cover the full sun. You know, the sun is huge. So if there's a cloud, it can just block the sunshine coming from that portion where the cloud is. Similarly, Maya, and we are superior to Maya. We are Satchid Ananda. We are conscious. But Maya, she is just made of this material elements. But because we are so tiny, our size is very, very small. And so that's the reason she can capture us. She can cover our consciousness. She cannot cover Krishna, because Krishna is like one fog, cannot actually cover the sun. So Krishna is compared to the sun, and the fog is compared to the Maya, and the sunshine is compared to the living entities. Just for our understanding. The living beings covered by the illusory energy evolve in different species of life, with bodies ranging from that of an insignificant ant to that of Brahma, the constructor of the cosmos. So we are covered by the illusory energy. What are we thinking? I'm the body. This is my home. This material world is my home, and I need to keep enjoying this body. That is our illusion. And then because of that, we are just changing different bodies from one body to another. Sometimes we are in the body of an ant. Sometimes we are in the body of Brahma. You know, we have been in different bodies. We have also been Brahma at one time. And yet we are here trying to enjoy the material world. The pradhan, the chief cause of all causes, is the impersonal vision. In the impersonal vision is none other than the Supreme Lord, whom one can see face to face in the internal potency. So what is this Brahma Jyoti? It's just the light coming from the Supreme Lord. It's just the light which is coming from him. And when we go back to the spiritual world, we can see the Lord face to face. We can speak to him, shake hands with him, have a relationship with him, because he's a person. He takes the material, all-pervasive form by his inconceivable power. Although all three potencies, namely internal, external, and marginal, are essentially one in the ultimate issue, they are different in action, like electric energy, which can produce both heat, cold and heat under different conditions. So from Krishna's point of view, everything is his energy. Everything belongs to him. But for our understanding, oh, there is an internal energy, there's external energy, and we are his marginal energy. For us to understand the position. For Krishna, everything is his, you know. So an example is given, the electricity is the same electricity. It can be used to power, to charge a heater or a AC. The electricity is the same. So the external and marginal potencies are so called under various conditions, but in the original internal potencies, there are no such conditions, nor is it possible for the conditions of the external potency to exist in the marginal or vice versa. One who is able to understand the intricacies of all these energies of the Supreme Lord can no longer remain an empiric impersonalist under the influence of a poor fund of knowledge. So why so much detail is given about these three energies? So that we can understand, so that we can give up the idea that God is not a person, that anything is separate from God. For that reason, it's given so detailed that there is the internal energy, which is maintaining the spiritual world. There is this external energy that is working in this material world. And then we, the living entities, we are the marginal energy. And we have a choice whether we want to be in the spiritual energy or we want to be in the material energy. Right now, we have chosen to be in the material energy. But by hearing, chanting, then we are choosing that we want to be in the internal energy. We want to go back home, not remain in this external energy anymore. And by trying to understand this, we can try to understand the position of the absolute truth. We can try to understand that there's nothing separate from him. Many people say, oh, I'm going to give up this. I will renounce this. I will renounce that. But in the first place, it does not belong to us. It belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. Everyone belongs to Krishna. That is, so for us to give up that false idea that anything is separate from Krishna, this it's being repeated so much and it's been spoken of in such detail. So I hope this is okay. And I'm sorry that I can't hear you, but in case you want to ask something, you can maybe write on the chat and I can try to answer that. If no, then we can stop reading Caitanya Caritamrita here for today. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Prem Nande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.